Today we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. What a surprise. It's the Crypto Lounge. Anyway, what we really want to talk about today is the big announcement that everybody has been waiting for. April 17th. It's been on your mind for quite some time. Who is it that Verge is going to partner with? And you can see here that they started selling off. No surprise there. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That type of behavior has happened all the time in the cryptocurrency space. However, this is less of a sell-off than what I expected, which means the announcement must have been fairly big, no pun intended. Let's go ahead and check out what that announcement is. Most of you already know, but for those of you that don't know, here we go. Pornhub and Verge are going to partner. So that means that Pornhub is going to start accepting Verge on their website. Now, personally, I don't know the business model for Pornhub. I imagine it's the same business model that YouTube has, the same business model that Facebook has. I imagine it's a lot of advertising. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of anybody that pays for that type of material, but it's beside the point. All right, I may not know a lot about it, but what I do know is that it is a big name, okay? Obviously, everybody knows about it. It is a huge website, whether you like that or not, and that's big for Verge, right? Usually when it comes to technology, adoption comes from porn first because they really just care about stuff that works, right? They're the underground. They don't have all of this bureaucratic control. They don't care as much about, having to replace their infrastructure, so on and so forth. They just want things that work. And that's why technology innovation is often so quick in some of these underground industries like porn. So this is exciting. This was actually one of the bigger possible announcements that Verge could have made. And the thing is, okay, here's the surprise. A lot of people thought that it was possible that the money was going to be taken away. But it's evident here, okay, there's actually some production quality in this particular video, and this was done on the official Pornhub YouTube channel. I don't want to go to their website to check the press release. I'm sure you understand why. But it seems like it's official, at least that's what everybody's making it sound like. So they did spend the money on something. It may not be a partnership that Pornhub really wanted, but they clearly were able to be motivated into it with enough money, which then begs the question, can you buy them out with other cryptocurrencies? It's just interesting that we were able to, it's interesting that Verge was able to do this, and I'm interested in finding out whether or not other cryptocurrencies are going to try this or not in the near-term future. It'll be an interesting idea. But this was a real announcement, so I have to give it to them. Certainly looks less like a scam now than what it did before. I still think it's a joke. There's a lot of incompetence associated with Verge when you think about it, right? The way they handled that mining situation, which was an exploit that I believe should have been fixed a long time ago. And then furthermore, the way the developer responded to those events. And I haven't kept up with it. Honestly, I really haven't, because there's no incentive for me to do so aside from this YouTube channel. But as far as I'm aware, I believe they had to hard fork and they're still getting orphaned blocks. Again, I haven't kept up with it too well, so I forgive me rather if that particular information is inaccurate, but their whole handling of every single situation that's ever been thrown at them honestly has not been the best. So even if it's not a scam, I still think that incompetence is on the table, and I still think it's a joke. So if you're invested in Verge, now that we've gotten this big catalyst out of the way, even though it is a big catalyst, it was a real announcement. This is not a fake announcement, and it seems like, if it's a real announcement with a huge website, that is exciting for cryptocurrencies as a whole. But again, because of that incompetence, it doesn't matter, right? It honestly doesn't matter in my opinion, because in the long term, I think that this is going to shoot itself in the foot. So at this point, even if I were trading it for the greater fool theory, I would probably sell out of it, but that's me personally. Obviously, you can do whatever you want with your portfolio, but those would be my decisions, okay? And honestly, I wouldn't get into Verge in the first place, so it's kind of a moot point. If you're in Verge, do whatever the hell you want, because you probably know more about that type of trading than I do, okay? So one of the things that I do every single day, we're moving on to the next subject now. One of the things that I do every day is I like to check CoinMarketCap and go through all of the different cryptocurrencies that have a lot of hype behind them, or if they don't have hype behind them, they have big communities or people talk about them all the time. So, all of these top 10 cryptocurrencies count. In fact, a lot of the cryptocurrencies in the top 100 count. But there's a number of cryptocurrencies here that I don't know anything about. For example, I know absolutely nothing about this particular cryptocurrency, so I don't bother checking it. But what I like to check every single day for a lot of different cryptocurrencies is where they're trading relative to Bitcoin and if there's any opportunities available. In other words, are there any situations where they are trading near support levels or at yearly lows? And so for today, I figured, maybe I'll start sharing some of this stuff that I look at. Now, a lot of times I don't always execute on all of these trades, but they are ones that I keep an eye on because I think that there's an opportunity there to do a swing trade. And the first one I briefly want to talk about is Dash. For those of you unaware, it is a decentralized autonomous organization, and they have this interesting idea with the Treasury where they pay out for certain projects and they pay using Dash with votes associated with the masternodes. I'm not going to get into it too much, but obviously Dash is fairly controversial. So anytime I talk about it, people are going to get upset both ways. What I really want to talk about here, and I've criticized Dash in the past, but that's not what's important here. Keep in mind that when it comes to cryptocurrencies, very little matters in terms of fundamentals. All that matters to me is that the fundamentals aren't so crappy that I feel scared just to hold the cryptocurrency, like Verge. Okay, but with Dash in particular, there's enough support there that I'm not concerned that it's going to all of a sudden crash and go to zero, for example. There is support at this level. Okay, we are trading at very low levels for Dash. You can see that this is the past year, and every single time it's come down to be roughly this low, it's bounced off of that, and usually it has massive spikes. Now, we have this upcoming catalyst with evolution, and furthermore, it doesn't even need that upcoming catalyst because as we move into a more altcoin heavy investing cycle, which I'm not calling for yet, but we've already seen dominance starting to fall, Dash really hasn't performed all that well, at least relative to other altcoins. It has started to go up against Bitcoin, but not as much as other cryptocurrencies. So I think there is an opportunity here in Dash. I don't know if I'm going to commit to this, but I do think there's a good solid swing trade opportunity, and I am really heavily considering it. I might want it to go down just a little bit from where it is here, but not too much, because again, it's bounced off of this level or around this level quite a few times. So I just wanted to bring up that particular opportunity. Now, the next cryptocurrency I want to talk about is ARK. A few of you might remember that this is one of the worst calls that I've made on my YouTube channel so far. I said it was a strong buy back at the beginning of October for around 60,000 Satoshi, and that call ended up being far too early. The problem is, even when we moved into an altcoin cycle, ARK never went up nearly as high as it was back in September, which was obviously the upside that I was looking for when I purchased it down here in October. So this ended up being a fairly poor call. However, the fundamentals for ARK are still fairly strong. It has one of the biggest teams in the cryptocurrency community. Furthermore, you can see the progress that they're making on a number of different tasks on their website, and it's well formatted. It looks professional. They have a great wallet, so on and so forth. And furthermore, if you buy it at lower levels, right, you're really looking for capital appreciation, but you can also get the reward from proof of stake, which is an excellent element of all of this. You can get a pretty decent yield when it comes to ARK. In fact, it's one of the best proof of stake coins when it comes to that sort of thing. So you can produce a little bit of an income while you're hoping to get a little bit of capital appreciation or a lot of capital appreciation. So this is a trade that I'm also looking at right now. I still hold ARK from back in October, so that ended up again being a fairly poor decision on my behalf. However, I'm looking at buying more because I think there's relatively strong support at this 30,000 Satoshi level. It's hovered around that level quite a bit over the past couple of months, and it has come down below that. I think it came all the way down to roughly 20,000. You can see that here. However, I do think that there is going to be an opportunity in the future where ARK spikes. So that's one that I'm looking at. And then lastly, I wanted to briefly mention Zcash. Now, the reason I want to very briefly mention it, obviously this chart gets messed up because all the way back here. So let me go ahead and move this to the 1 year. So if you look at Zcash, this is another cryptocurrency that's spoken about fairly frequently. It's a well-known cryptocurrency. Everybody knows about them. They've done some excellent innovations within the space in terms of zero-knowledge proofs. And I think that, when you see it trading this low, again, there really hasn't been any action here. So the concern is that without any catalyst, this will just continue to trade sideways, and you might be better off holding other cryptocurrencies. However, in the event that we do have a decent spike in Satoshi levels, it is something that is worth considering. Again, I don't think I'm going to be making this trade quite yet. However, if this does come lower, this is one that I'm watching very closely because, again, it's trading at fairly low levels relative to the past year, and it is a cryptocurrency that everybody knows about. It may not be one that I fully support personally. However, that, again, doesn't matter. We're not looking at fundamentals here. We're just trying to get an idea of what cryptocurrencies are trading relatively cheap, especially given the fact that dominance for Bitcoin has been going down. When there is a dominance decrease for Bitcoin, there is a pressure for altcoins to go to the upside. So again, when you see laggards like Zcash, there's going to often be a point in the future where we have a reversion to mean, where they catch up with other altcoins. This is why it's important to pick cryptocurrencies that are well known, that do have a community behind them, that do have the potential for catalysts, because if you don't pick something like that, it's less likely that it will revert to mean. However, Zcash is considered widely by a lot of people as one of the most well-regarded, largest cryptocurrencies out there, with a pretty big reputation. Now, that reputation goes both ways. Obviously, some people hate it, some people love it, whatever, right? The important part is that it does have a reputation, it is well known, and therefore I don't feel too unsafe when it comes to holding it, even though I may not agree with the design principles associated with Zcash. Remember, the goal is to make money, not to, support the projects that you like. There's different ways to support the projects you like than investing in the cryptocurrencies themselves. You'd be better off just giving that money to the developers, for example, or trying to make more websites accept that particular cryptocurrency. So when it comes to investing and trading, all we're trying to do is make money. Always remember that, because that's something that is a difficult concept to keep in mind for a lot of people. Anyway, as usual, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure that you check out my Steemit. You guys know the drill. It's an easy way to support me, interact with me, and furthermore, there's usually higher quality comments on Steemit that can help you learn a little bit more and offer more perspectives than what I offer here. And sometimes people offer my perspective, but more eloquently spoken. So check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, as usual, leave a like, comment, and subscription. A lot of you guys did subscribe after my last video. Apparently, my call to action at the end there did work. So thank you for those of you that did subscribe. Welcome to the channel, or if you're not new, then hopefully you stay. Thank you for watching.